Attention, the following video is going to totally blow your mind. If you enjoy any of it and or love thick thighs, please click the like button below. Enjoy. Just in case you're just now jumping into Fallout 4 because of the new Fallout TV show on Amazon, or you're returning to Fallout 4 to play it while you binge watch every episode in one sitting because you have ADHD, an addictive personality, and or an extremely short attention span, then this video is perfect for you. Fallout 4's Wasteland is extremely extensive, and nearly a decade after the game's release, I often find myself discovering new things, especially when I only played the DLCs for the first time about a year ago. Regardless, this is going to be a video covering 5 rare and unique items, including weapons and clothing, that you can find in Fallout 4's Irradiated Commonwealth. And if you happen to be watching this after the release of the Fallout TV show, let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into 5 rare and unique items that you can find in Fallout 4. Let's take a trip out of the Commonwealth for a bit and head over to the town of Far Harbor. Just south of Far Harbor, you can find a place called Beaver Creek Lanes. This is an old abandoned bowling alley that has been taken over by ghouls, and not the cool kind. If you make your way into the bowling alley's manager office, you can not only find a glowing feral ghoul, but you will also find a variant of the Fat Man mini nuke launcher on one of the desks. This is a weapon called the Striker, and instead of shooting mini nukes, it shoots bowling balls. Now, obtaining ammo for this weapon can be a bit difficult and annoying, and the weapon itself is downright terrible to use in any form of actual combat. With that being said, it's certainly a very fun weapon to use. And I am not sure if it's a personal bias, but whenever I use this weapon, I can't help but imagine that commercial for eyeglasses with the bowling ball rolling down the street. The Striker will definitely one-shot any enemy you could possibly think of, but your chances of actually hitting them is next to 0. Worst case scenario, you could always modify it to shoot mini nukes instead. However, it's not always about having the best gear. It is very important to have fun while playing. During the Far Harbor DLC's main story, you will be introduced to the Children of Adam, and you'll end up making your way into their hideout called the Nucleus. You will meet with one of their zealots, and then you will begin a few side quests to help out members of the cult. Now, I don't know about you, but I do not like spending a second longer inside the Nucleus than I have to, let alone spending time and effort into actually helping a bunch of weirdos that worship radiation. There is enough radiation inside the compound to give Chernobyl stage 4 cancer, and not a single companion approves of participating in any of the side quests. However, one of those side quests is called the Heretic, where you have to track down a child of Adam who has defected from the cult to spread her lies about the great and holy Adam. You will eventually find her in a church of all places, and you can either convince her to leave the island to never return, or put an end to her heresy once and for all. Either way, you can return to the Nucleus, and you'll be rewarded with a weapon called Adam's Judgment. This is a variant of the super sledge that is covered in leaking fusion cores. This weapon also deals primarily radiation damage, and in a wasteland mostly covered with enemies who absorb radiation, Adam's Judgment seems kind of useless, but against human enemies, it's actually really good. Adam's Judgment can be a fun weapon to use, and you can modify it to deal electrical damage on top of everything else. It is definitely a pretty fun and unique weapon to try out, so if you have the Far Harbor DLC, definitely give it a shot. Another fun and unique melee weapon that I definitely recommend picking up would be the 2076 World Series Baseball Bat. But in order to get the 2076 World Series Baseball Bat, you'll have to participate in the Jamaica Plains scavenger hunt, collecting a few different keys and other documents. First off, you'll have to make your way to Jamaica Plain, which is also the location of one of my favorite settlement spots. But once you enter the city of Jamaica Plain, you'll come across this body that looks very similar to one Austrian painter, but his name is Coral, and you can pick up a town hall key off of his body. Next, you'll want to turn right of Coral and enter the house at the end of the street. On the upper level of the house, you can find Hannah Baker and Kurt Cobain, along with a key to the Town Hall archives. Next, you will want to make a left turn from Coral's body, and you'll come across the entrance to your settlement, if you decide to make one here. But across the street, there will be a church. You will need to enter the church by climbing to the top of the house on the side of it, and jump down through the roof of the church while trying to not flamingo your legs. By the front door, you will find Johnny Silverhand's little brother, clearly adopted, and he will have an ID card. Finally, you'll want to make your way to the town hall, which is obviously the giant building in the center of town with a giant statue in front of it, which practically screams town hall. Once again, on the upper floor, you will find Sal, today's biggest loser, along with the mayor's password, and that will be the last item you will need. Once you have everything you need, you can make the journey into the town hall basement. Now you can use everything you gathered to enter the building, turn off the laser grid, and use the password to open the vault door. Inside the vault, you will find the 2076 World Series baseball bat. Now that was a lot of effort, but was it worth it? Absolutely. This baseball bat is fully customizable, and it comes with a truly unique legendary effect. Hitting enemies has a small chance to send them flying to the moon, like in those old modded Dead Island save files on the Xbox 360. And the kicker is that no other weapon in the entire game can have this effect. But if you're not really a fan of melee weapons, luckily you can sell it to Mo in Diamond City for 200 plus caps, depending on your riz. Or you could wrap it in barbed wire and cosplay as Negan from The Walking Dead, who definitely didn't do anything wrong. I find this melee weapon to be really fun to use, but it's not very good, as there are much better melee weapons out there in the Wasteland, but none of which will enable you to yeet people into oblivion. For the next rare item, we are going to want to hop on the monorail and take a trip to Nuka World USA, a Nuka-Cola themed amusement park. The theme park is separated into different sub-themes, including a kingdom, a safari, and even a galactic zone, which is where we want to go next. Within the galactic zone, there are a few different buildings you'll have to enter and clear as part of the Nuka World DLC's main story. But the one we want to look at is the Nuka Galaxy roller coaster. You'll want to follow the entire roller coaster until you reach the ride's exit. At the end of the ride, you will see an animatronic of the Nuka girl herself, and interacting with the animatronic will actually loot the Nuka girl's spacesuit for yourself. This is a very impractical yet very spicy spacesuit that offers moderate resistance to energy and radiation damage. It even lets you breathe underwater. So it's not a terrible outfit, but at this point in the game you definitely have much better armor available. But you don't have very many lewd clothing to throw on your female companions like Piper and Kate, so you could always throw it on one of them. But if you're going to throw a sexy outfit on the local media vulture, you might as well get one that's even more revealing. Pun intended. There is a building located in the middle of the Commonwealth called Hubris Comics. This is an old comic book store filled with feral ghouls. Assuming you have the firepower and the health points to fight off all of the ghouls, you can make your way up to the top floor of the building, and you can find an outfit for Grognak the Barbarian on a shelf. This outfit is essentially just a couple of rags moonlighting as a piece of clothing, and doesn't really offer any kind of protection, figuratively and not. This outfit does, however, increase your strength by a couple points, and increasing all melee damage. So this outfit can be a real benefit to you if you plan on using weapons like the World Series baseball bat or Adam's Judgment that we found earlier. But just like the last outfit, if you don't plan on using it yourself, you could always throw it on Piper and simply enjoy the view. You could also throw it on Preston, sentencing him to live out a racial stereotype as punishment for always forcing you to help out other settlements needing your help and marking it on your map. And that, my friends, is what we call a bad joke. There you have it. That was 5 rare items, weapons and clothing you can find out in Fallout 4's Commonwealth. If you want to see more Fallout 4 content in the future, make sure you let me know. In the meantime, you can subscribe to see other RPG related content. Anyways, I'll see you later. And remember, the media lies. Unless you're Piper.